Welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be showing you how to make Achari Aloo Gobi. The full recipe with the measurements is written in the description box of this video. This is a really quick recipe, so you want to start off by parboiling the cauliflower florets. For this you'll need a deep saucepan and around 2 litres of water. You then want to add in salt and a pinch of turmeric. This will give it a really nice colour. Give it a good mix and allow the water to come to the boil. Once the water is boiling, you can now add in the cauliflower florets. Make sure there is enough water so all the florets are covered, as they always stay at the top and don't really sink. Bring the water to the boil again and cook until the florets are about 50% cooked. This will usually take a few minutes, so you can leave them to boil on the side whilst you cook the onions. In a separate pan, heat some oil on a high heat. Make sure that the oil is hot and add in the mustard seeds. You want to wait until these are crackling like this. You can then add in the sliced onions and soften them on a high heat. Whilst the onions are softening, you can check the florets are half cooked. I usually do this by cutting down the middle. You then want to remove them into a separate bowl. Make sure that you don't throw this water away, as we'll be using the same water to boil the potatoes. Turn off the heat and leave aside. Now return back to the onions and continue to brown them off on a high heat. After a few minutes of softening the onions, you now want to add in Nigella seeds. These are also known as black onion seeds. Mix these in really well. As the onions start to change colour, you now want to add in half the salt. We'll be adding the rest later on when we add in the cauliflower. After a few minutes of browning the onions on a high heat, you can now see that they are turning golden. At this stage you want to add in the ginger paste. I'm not adding garlic into this, but you can if you want to. Cook the ginger off really well so you get rid of that raw taste. As the onions turn golden, you can now add in the chilli powder. As we're cooking on a high heat, mix the chilli powder in with the onions that are on top first, as you don't want the powder touching the bottom of the pan and burning. You now want to add in Asafoetida powder, also known as Hing. After a quick mix, you can now add back in the parboiled cauliflower florets from before. I'm also adding in the chopped stems and baby leaves from the cauliflower. I sometimes add the stems and leaves in at the beginning with the onions. However, this time they were really soft, so I didn't need them to cook for long. You now want to add in the chopped tomato and continue to soften on a high heat. Whilst the cauliflower is cooking, you can leave this onto the side and start to boil the potatoes. Bring the water from before back up to the boil again and add in the diced potatoes. You want to cook these until they're about 75% cooked. Return back to the cauliflower and add in tomato puree, coriander powder, half the garam masala, and give this a good mix. After a few minutes, check the potatoes are cooked and drain. You want these a bit more cooked than the cauliflower, as they won't be in the pan for long. Mix in with the cauliflower florets, add in green chillies and the rest of the salt from before. Mix this all in really gently, as you don't want to break the cauliflower florets as much as possible. I'm now adding in Achar Masala. This is the same masala used in Achari Gosht and can be easily found in Asian food stores. I'll also leave a link in the description box. You can add as much of this masala as you want to. If you don't like a strong achari taste, you can also leave this out and just keep it as a plain aloo gobi recipe. Once you've added in all the spices and potatoes, you don't really need to cook this for much longer. Just wait until you start seeing the oil appear from the sides. It will only take a few minutes. You now want to finish with garam masala and some fresh coriander. If you like this recipe, make sure to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to press the bell notification so you can be notified for all my upcoming videos. You can also follow me over on my Instagram and Facebook page, Foodatives. The link is in the description box of this video.